I should have thought of this before. I tipped it up and letting out a whole lot more water. Eventually I'll be able to tip up the whole thing and just drain it out. There we go. Okay, my dolly worked out. I was able to get it from that spot over up this hill to the dumpster. That is done. And this dumpster is about done too. So I'm gonna show you a little trick that you can do now with modern technology. So you wanna replace your dumpster, not your dumpster, your water heater. Not exactly sure what to do, or what you need, what size and everything. Take a picture of this and load that into ChatGPT. It'll tell you what to replace it with. It'll even give you the link at your local big box store of what to get to replace it. Alrighty, we got our new water heater. Now we need the parts. Our install kit. We do need the drain line though. Oh, this is handy. Yep, that's what we need. Let's see. Drain pan. This is code. Gotta have this. Found what I needed. Joist galvanized hanger straps for the expansion tank. Pipe threading compound, I know I got some, but I always get more. And nails for putting in the joist hanger straps. The joist hanger, not the galvanized hanger straps for the expansion tank. Those straps are galvanized, so I got galvanized nails. You need to have similar connections to each other so you don't get corrosion from dissimilar metals in contact. Alrighty, got the new one in here, ready to install. Before I did the install, I'm gonna epoxy this floor, so I just put some epoxy down right where I'm gonna install this. Well, like any decent plumber, I forgot a couple things, so I had to go back and get some more brass fittings. So this is how, I'm just doing a test fit here. That's how the expansion tank is gonna go on. And then these are the fittings that's gonna go there for the water feed. And I hope it is tall enough now. And that's gonna go on top of there. Boy, if that's not tall enough, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to get another one of these and then just put another extension on top of there. So just here at Lowe's, and I saw this. I did not see this at Home Depot. That would have saved me some time and money. So tip, don't do what I did, find this piece. Okay, just a little dry fit test before we put everything in, and everything looks good. I'm gonna have to double check the measurements on the dryer so I don't cut the dryer off, but I'm pretty sure, you know, it's movable, thankfully, with these fittings. So if I gotta push it over this way, that's fine. I might have to move this sink over a little bit eventually, or just get a new sink set up there. Okay, got a couple updates. I'm gonna have to do that to that feed to get it to fit, which kind of, I don't know, don't like it, but whatever. I'll get it done. It'll pass inspection. I gotta put the strap up to support the tank once it's done. And unfortunately, these compression fittings are not working with this pipe. So I'm gonna have to go get some other type of fittings to create a threaded connection to connect these pipes here. And then when I'm done with that, I can do the electrical connection. So you don't do the electrical connection until everything else is done and the tank has water in it. You do not want those elements heating up without water to absorb that heat. New solution, SharkBites. When all else fails, SharkBite it. There we go. Perfect. When the shark bites. Oh, it's an obligatory dad joke that you sing that song while putting these on. Okay, I'm gonna cut this one about here, put one on up here, and we should start connecting. I want to point out one thing I'm doing after I cut them. I am cleaning them with this SharkBites. The pipe needs to be clean in order for it to get on there right. And this is a pain in the butt to do one-handed. So I'm doing it just so you can kind of see how much it cleans these suckers. Really nice. So I got to go a little bit more on that, and then I'll put the SharkBite on. I want to reiterate, while I'm doing this, the breaker is off on the water heater. These water heater breakers even come with a lock where you can lock it in the off position. You put a little padlock in there, it just locks it in the off position, so that if you have multiple people on site and you're working on the water heater, somebody doesn't come over and flip the breaker on while you're messing with this part. Okay, we've got the fittings in place. We're onto the electrical. This was the cover off of the old water tank that I just now took off. And what was holding it in place is this nut right here holds that cover in place for this electric fitting. We are doing nothing with this electric fitting. This is absolutely staying. It's perfectly fine, and there's nothing I have to do to it. If you have to go into that, you hire an electrician. That's the point at which you stop and just retain an electrician. So what's going to happen here is these wires are going to go down inside there, except this one, the ground, is going to be thread through that hole there, come out the top, and it's going to be around that green screw, and that's going to be your ground wire. All right, you got to have that ground attached. So next we're going to put hot to hot, which in this case is white to red, and then black to black. And I've got some wire nuts that I picked up. I'll put those on. Okay, hot to hot is connected. Now we're gonna connect the black to black, and and we'll be done. Okay, we got it there. I haven't screwed it in yet, but I discovered our first great reason to have these flexible connections. I had to twist this in order to get the electrical to hit, but that's okay. Okay, got it together. Quick tip, I should have just taken this side off because I put that on first. I got that all connected. I got the ground in there in the right spot, and this just slides right on real easy. I can get that in place. That's a little tricky right there. I do have to cut that off actually. Maybe. I wonder if this multi-tool is up to snuff for doing this kind of cut. Hey! Oh. Let's set up my car alarm. Alrighty. Perfect. I'll just put that, I'll screw that cover down in, and we are good to go. Okay, I've technically got this done where it would be fine as is, but there's a couple things I don't like about it. One, I don't like this goosenecking in there. This is already irritating me a little bit. I got a remover for the SharkBite, so I'm going to take the SharkBites off. I figured since I'm replacing all this, I'm going to put in a new ball valve, and so I'm going to cut this back up to about here and then put in some new copper piping. I'm going to remove this and move this up to make it a little bit straighter. Since the dryer is going to go right there, I have checked there's enough clearance for the dryer, but I don't like that it might interfere with access to those panels. So I'm going to try to twist it just a little bit more, whatever I can, to get these panels more out in front so that access to them is easier. I did forget the elbow there. I got a 1/2 inch and I need a 3/4, so I'll just a little minor goof up. But this, hang on. It's coming together. Okay, I'm going to see if I can show you this from this angle. Hopefully I do it properly. I'm going to put this clip on. That's the SharkBite removal clip. Water on the phone. But it worked. I missed a step here, I should have mentioned. Before disconnecting this, I should have opened that valve and let water drain into the water heater. But I thought about it when I started cutting, and so I drained about yay much out of that line, because even though this hot water line's been open on here, there's still some water trapped in that line there. So anyway, here's how we're going to cut this. You know how pipe cutter works. It's no surprise. This is pretty thin wall copper that they had here. Probably I don't know, one's type L, one's type N, M, and you can always tell the thicker stuff because it's more expensive. So I've been replacing it with the thicker copper just because I get better results. Okay, that's cut. So if I do one more turn, it's gonna fall off. So let me put this down and grab it with both hands. There we go. So the ball valve that I got is just a SharkBite ball valve. So I'm gonna clean up that connection and pop it right on there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's do the next part. Okay, I did something smart this time. I actually stretched this out to kind of the position I wanted it to see what length I would need to cut on this. So that's right about there. There we go. And now I can get the corner in there. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, let me do my corner piece and then that's it. Actually, one more step. I decided to put this all in to kind of figure out what length I want on there. Now I want enough pipe in here to work on later. And so it's gonna put a little bit of a bend in it, but not as bad as before. So we'll just, actually let's do this the smart way. Let's get a measurement. About a 4-inch piece, about a 3-inch piece. No, that's not enough. Let's see. Here we go. This is hard to do with one hand. I got to do this with two hands. And I like that better. Not quite as extreme of a gooseneck in there. A little bit of bending, but that's okay. And I got a brand new shutoff valve in place. And I pointed that towards the wall, so it's out of the way of the knuckleheads. Next thing to do is to trim this up a bit. I think if I just took off just a little bit of this pipe, that would be a little bit nicer of a look there. Actually, I'm wrong. I just tried putting it back in place, and with this extreme bend out, it actually doesn't look too bad. So we got a nice connection there, nice there. Before I run water to this, I found a leak upstairs I gotta go take care of. That's just a quick fix, and I'll come back down. Well, we got some good news and bad news. Good news is the shutoff valve is doing a great job. The bad news, the elbow is not. So, gotta figure out what's wrong with that elbow. Might have to just get a new one. Okay, I did the plumbing version of turning your laptop off and on again. Just pulled it out. This was going down, so I switched places on them, and now apparently they work. So we are going to fill this thing up. I'm gonna watch this and make sure it doesn't decide to do anything interesting on me. Okay, we did discover a small leak upstairs. So this is tested enough that I'm going to shut the water off again, and we're going to fix that upstairs leak. Best time to fix leaks is when nobody's in the house and you got the system open. So I'm going to do that now.